What's up, guys? This is Coach Jason, live from Boston. Here on a baby moon with my wife. When I was in the room, I was thinking about some topics of the day. As I'm eating all this delicious, horrible food, I'm thinking of strength and conditioning, because as soon as I get back, I got to get back on our grind and, get back in shape and, take the next steps on what my future is as a competitor in boxing is. So I'm contemplating strength and conditioning and different philosophies on it. I've always had my own philosophy, but I have been always paid attention to different topics out there and people I've trained with, people I know, and as a boxing coach, a personal trainer, and a martial artist, I've seen it from many different angles. And there's always been two philosophies on the thought of strength and conditioning. One is to train sports specific. And that means if you're a boxer, you train boxing and you do things specific to boxing. And then the other school of thought is to cross-train and do, specific strength and conditioning for certain muscle groups, but not necessarily for the sport. And so I just wanted to kind of, give my opinion and discuss what my feelings are on those topics. So I think that training sports specific at least 75% of the time is the most important thing. Only because you can have a person who is a very good basketball player, they're very conditioned to play basketball, and they can go all 48 minutes, without an issue with the cardio or having great strength for the sport. But if you take that same person and you put them into a boxing environment, they will suffer because they're not efficient at using their body in a manner that is relative to boxing. And so I think that being sports specific and using your body in a manner that is needed for your particular sport is the most important way to train. So you can do things, in that other 25%, you can do things to complement your sport. If you're going to do, for instance, I use a lot of kettlebells and slam balls in my workout as an alternative to strict long distance running, because I have some physical issues with my back. So I'll do 30-second burnouts with a kettlebell and a slam ball, and have a 30-second active rest while maybe doing some shadow boxing, and then get right back to work. So that simulates that aerobic and anaerobic system use that you're going to have in boxing, where you're going all out trying to knock a guy out, and then maybe he doesn't get knocked out, and then you still have to be in that fight and still using your jab and really slowing your heart rate down so you can energize yourself to use your anaerobic system of that burnout once again. So I think that's something to always keep in mind when you're thinking of strength and conditioning, because you see a lot of athletes nowadays do so many other things to be ready for their sport, but they're doing other sports, and I think that takes a lot away from what you're actually supposed to be good at, and that's the sport that you play. If you're a boxer, you want to concentrate on your boxing, skills and conditioning. So you should be doing things relative to that. Not playing football and trying to get in shape for boxing. You should be concentrating on your skill set. And I think doing so, you become better strength and conditioned for your sport, but you also become even that much more skilled because you're concentrating your energy on your art. So that's just my thought. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.